The hunter brought his blade down hard. They successfully retrieved the spider's stinger. With that in hand, it was time to deal with the Diablos. They tied the stinger onto an arrow and rigged up a launcher using an abandoned ship. Once everything was set, they headed out to the desert and triggered the trap. The thud of a barrel hitting the ground caught the Diablos' attention, and the two of them made a break for the armored vehicle. But they had underestimated just how fast the Diablos was. The equipment was almost within reach when the desert went dead silent. Mira sensed something was off and immediately told the hunter to stop. The sand beneath their feet was shifting. The Diablos could strike at any moment. That's when the hunter made his call. He'd act as the bait and draw it away. But he hadn't gone far before something fell off him, an item that belonged to his family. When he turned back to grab it, the Diablos caught him and sent him flying. The moment he hit the ground, the hunter drew his bowstring and fired the poison-tipped arrow straight at the Diablo's eye. The venom sent the Diablos into a frenzy. With one whip of its tail, it swatted the hunter through the air. In that desperate moment, Mira swung the vehicle's mounted machine gun around and opened fire, hammering the Diablos relentlessly and diverting its focus. As the poison began clouding its senses, Mira shouldered a rocket launcher and fired. But the Diablo's hide was just too thick. It barely felt a thing. It slammed into Myra's vehicle, flipping it over, then began closing in on her. Somehow, without anyone noticing, the hunter had already climbed onto the Diablo's head. He raised his great sword and drove it down with everything he had. The Diablos roared in pain and flung him off. Mira seized the moment. She sprinted toward the Diablos and fired her grappling hook, using the force of the creature's thrashing head to swing herself onto its head. She quickly located the great sword and drove it in even deeper. The Diablos grew more and more frenzied, shaking its head violently, trying to throw her off. Mira held on and poured every last ounce of her strength into the sword and drove the blade into its skull. The Diablo's pupils dilated. Then it collapsed to the ground.